You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number 187 of East Central Indiana's favorite podcast. I'm Jeremiah Morrell. Today, I'm joined by co-host Aaron Dicken, producer Zach Burcham, and my baby sister is here to talk about her presents that didn't show up and how she feeds her daughter. This is going to be a fun and entertaining episode. This show is about our lives in rural Indiana, obviously, because I invited my sister. We're here to push your boundaries, make you think as individuals. Sometimes we'll provoke you. Other times we'll make you laugh. But hopefully, you'll always learn something new. Mr. Aaron Dicken, welcome back, man.
Hey, yeah, thanks for the warm invitation back to the studio for the 8th time, Jeremiah. I really appreciate it.
Is this the 8th time?
I don't know. It's more times than Hannah.
It's true. I mean, she's a better negotiator, obviously.
There you go. And I couldn't help, I was sitting in this seat. Obviously, there's some big shoes to fill. Like literally, the boots that are under this table of Dakota's are have to be size 15. But I was getting ready to say today's episode, but you already introduced the topic.
We didn't talk about it. I figured we'd just cover it for you. I mean, if you want to do
expecting my failure,
if you want to do the Patreon thank yous, that's a good starter level.
Gosh, okay.
Do you think you can handle that? If not, Zach's over here and he can jump in.
So the Patreon people are people that help fund this incredible endeavor and service to our community.
There are sugar daddies
all over. And so we just take a time in our show to give a special thank you. I'm going to steal this job from Dakota. A special thank you personally to these people. And those people are in no particular order.
These are the folks that give $50 or more a
month. Right. $50
There's a bunch
or
of other
more
patrons
a month
that are incredible, but they don't give it quite the level that gets you onto this arbitrary $50 club where you get mentioned at the beginning of every episode.
So they're extra special. And those people that are extra special, well, let me tell you their names, Jeremiah. They're Chris Lamb, Christy Avery, Jonathan Phillips, and Anthony Meyer.
All special people.
All special people.
Chris, let me tell you a story about each of them. Chris Lamb gave us the glasses that we're drinking this Blanton's out of.
I think we should cheers that.
Little clink.
Little clink. Thank you, Chris.
There we go. Thank you.
But we can't drink at the same time because then there's silence.
Oh, Hannah can cover it. She's over there with her
So I have this
F1.
cute little sparkling wine, which I never had before, and it's pretty good. It's very good, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Unlike the bourbon, because that's disgusting.
No, I'm told it's very expensive, so that makes it good.
It's good because I paid a lot.
Just like the votes Biden bought in Pennsylvania. It's good because it costs money.
Exactly. Right.
So, so we're drinking the bourbon out of the Chris Lamb glasses. If you go listen to the Patreon, it was live streamed, or of course, if you join the Patreon at any level, you automatically get them emailed to you. You get the show emailed directly to you. You can see that take place. Christy Avery is she's awesome. She's up in Lafayette with some major dog issues right now, though. The people at Purdue University are fixing her dog.
Oh,
been up there for 2 days. She's probably spending all her Patreon money on a puppy right now, and that's making me nervous.
No, it's good experience for the students.
Well, you think they're putting the kids in charge?
That's fine,
maybe. And then John Phillips, of course, the official car salesman of the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast.
Well, and I said his name exactly that way because I just found out like a month or two ago that he was actually an Indianapolis Indian.
He is a pro athlete.
It basically is, yeah. So I just wanted to say it like, I don't know, like they used to say, razor shines. Jonathan Phillips doesn't quite roll off like that, though, I guess.
I would have shortened it.
You can keep working on it.
John?
Yeah.
Johnny Phillips.
It's John. It's definitely Johnny Phillips. And you say it with that like
Johnny Phillips up to
Phillips.
Yeah.
So do you ever have your patrons on the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
eventually.
Let's say that could be your next
I know. This is your first time.
I just want to know, since I haven't been invited on the show before.
Well, I mean, if you paid enough money each month, we'd invite you on.
87 episodes to.
And Anthony Meyer, of course, has got his GoFundMe that we talked about last week, and he's working on buying his own independent, broken free from the government trucking company.
Oh,
he's trying to get out on his own.
Nice.
We're working on buying a truck from Mr. Salesman John Phillips.
There you go. You're going to go full Denali. I talked to your brother, to my brother-in-law about it.
Completely against
He said he needs heated seats and 2 sunroofs.
Yeah. We test drove a Denali. It was nice. It's very nice. We're going probably the SLT route with the
that's the super slutty
package.
edition. That's what my terrain is, the SLT.
Cooled seats is where it's at.
You got to turn yourself up a little bit over there, producer Zach. The cooled seats?
Heated seats are like so $19.95.
Where do you get the cooled seats?
I don't know. I don't have them in anything I have, but I have relatives that have them. I turn them on just for fun.
You haven't heard of air conditioned seats?
I know. I'm just saying where he's getting them. What he's got them in. I don't
have them in anything, but I've driven vehicles that have them.
And that was kind of a zinger, wasn't it?
No,
I didn't know what kind of car he had.
I didn't know which Lexus you were driving. No, I didn't know if his hatchback had cooled seats. I didn't know.
No,
he's never let me ride in it, so I don't know. Never been invited.
It's tiny and it's got.
Don't want to ride in it now.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! All right, Zach, we got some links over there. Why don't you tell me about those?
We got
what can they buy in the store?
Got the T-chip stores. We got as the numbers go up, the premiumness goes up as well. So and I'll post the links in just a second because I can't post and talk at the same time. But tchip.com/BHOL 1, 2, 3, 4 and mug, and there's also the protection stuff in there. So we still need masks for a little bit. So there's masks in the net gaiters in there, which are handy. So check that stuff out, and I'll post the links in just a moment.
John Phillips is in the chat, and he says if you wear shorts and turn the AC on real strong, you get the same sensation in a GMC. So you don't need to go Escalade, buddy. You'll be all right. I had to get up and shut the door. That's why I pitched over to Zach, because playtime in there with niece Tatum was getting loud. Hannah, apparently the kids are loud.
It's going to be encroaching onto bedtime pretty soon, so she's probably just going to be pissed off and screaming in the other room for
I need
about
you
an hour.
to lean into. You're talking across that mic. You're not a professional broadcaster.
If she was invited on this show,
if I was invited on the show like a year ago, I might know this by now.
If you don't give me a good performance, I don't know that we can ask you back.
All right,
see,
I'll
I
do
can
my
see
best.
it both ways. He's got a point.
Oh my god.
Anyways, Tatum's going to get pretty pissed off pretty soon.
Well, we should probably get through the intro yet. All right, so couple of news items we need to cover because that's what we do here. COVID vaccine, it's rolling out. The people of Henry County, the frontline workers in Henry County, are starting to get them tomorrow on Friday. I did some research.
Ooh, really?
Yes.
Because I thought that I had seen someone had already gotten it. But maybe I'm wrong.
No, some people have gotten it, but Henry County.
Well, yeah.
The state has divided up everybody into separate sub areas.
Right. Well, I mean, I think I thought I had seen someone. Maybe they were saying they were going to be one of the first. But yeah.
So the Henry County folks and the Rush County folks, kindred spirits,
right,
are
so
linked together.
Drop the vaccines at 3 and 40.
They are going to get their vaccines in Rushville at the hospital. And you sign up on the line, online, on the line, just like in that movie, on the line. You sign up. It's a Vince Vaughn thing. If you don't get the Vince Vaughn
movie
joke,
where they sign on the line, that could be how many different.
If you don't get a Vince Vaughn joke, I can't help you, Aaron. I need Dakota back.
Sorry.
There's a pantheon of libertarian comedians.
Yeah,
and Vince Vaughn is on our Mount Rushmore, right there with Drew Carey and I don't know who else. We only have a couple.
I gotcha. Right. So it's kept at Rush Memorial because they have like the cold facilities to store it?
No. Of course, if you had read the show notes.
Right.
And these are linkable if you're in the Patreon.
I was too busy servicing insurance accounts today. Thank you.
There's links in here. Join the Patreon. Check it out. You'll see what we pulled together. There are 5 hospitals in Indiana that have the super cold storage because this Pfizer drug has to be kept at like 50 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. They then can be put on dry ice and sent out to distant locations. So it's all coming into one of 5 big hospitals in Indiana, and then they send it out to local places. So Henry County and Rush County are one of 50 different sub areas they've created. The Rush County Hospital, that's how they distribute it. And then a pharmacist will have you show up at your appointment time. So at 2:10, you get your first shot, and once they crack the thing open, they've got a few hours where it can be out of the temperature zone.
And I actually saw that
it's happening.
Finding that they have like more than enough vaccine in each vial, right?
Yeah, I did learn you're supposed to not share needles though when they do it.
That's instantly. I'm glad that you said that, because that's instantly what I thought. I thought, man, that's not very sanitary and safe. It was like, oh yeah, they'll use a new needle. Duh.
Yeah.
So glad I went to school.
You pull open the thing and you're like, oh hell, I saw this.
All right,
I saw this in a movie.
Who's next?
I'm pretty sure it's more sophisticated than when I used to give injections to sheep and goats.
Nope, same thing.
Once a day, would get a new needle out. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure they're going to be
poor sheep.
I only lost one patient. It could have been worse.
And I guess we should clarify. I meant like actual animal sheep.
Oh yeah, I mean, so you're anti-vaccine?
We're broaching a subject where I just realized, like, if I'm talking about the animal sheep, somebody's going to say that I'm like this, and I'm not. So, yeah.
Well, you can't have it both ways.
I know,
Mr. Anti-Government or Mr. Government.
Which one? You don't even know. See, that's
which one are you?
I'm doing a good job. I'm doing a great job. If you're stumbling over that, so
Hannah, are you going to jump in line when you can?
I don't know. Right now, I can't because I'm breastfeeding. So,
I mean, that's like a 2-for-1. You get it, and so does Tatum.
If I get COVID, my antibodies will go through my milk to her.
Could you say milk one more time?
Milk.
You are a Hoosier.
Milk.
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 Milk. Milk.
Milk.
There we go. Yes.
My bad.
Can you also say crayon?
I don't.
Oh, see,
Trick. Crayon.
Ooh,
It's a crayon.
But you didn't say crown, so that's good.
No, it's a crayon.
Crayon.
Do you wash your clothes or do you wash them?
Depends on if I'm off the commode or not.
Depends upon what family reunion Aaron is at. Half his family, he has to say wash or he gets thrown out.
It's true.
So there's 55,000 doses that are supposed to get doled out this week. They think 46,000 people have signed up and they're going to get them right away. There was a super secret link that you had to use to get hooked up, and it sounds like people are signing up. So
I would expect it.
We're on our way. And if all the anti-vaxxers that get out of the way, that don't do it, we just move up in line. That's what I figured.
Well, it's one way to look at it.
I get closer.
One way to look at it.
If they say no, I'm not doing it, then when my group comes up, it's like waiting at the BMV and somebody left early. I drew number 110, but if 14 of them left ahead of me, then I get to get there faster.
It's like if you get your name drawn out at a right to buy raffle, you say no, thank you, and then leave the store without your booth. It's exactly the same thing.
There was a GIF that I saw today, or a meme, or a meme.
But it's definitely not a GIF. You can call it
wasn't moving,
things,
so it wasn't a GIF.
But I've never heard meme. Please do that more.
A meme. It was Pfizer, and it said, "Good enough for your penis, good enough for your vaccine." I believe. You trust us with this. You trust us with that.
I had seen an episode of Fallon, late. I don't even know what his show is actually. The Tonight Show, right?
I don't know.
And
sure.
He did, because the other one is Moderna. And so he and the Roots did a song, Funky Cold Moderna. And I can't, every time I see that article now, I'm like bobbing my head a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care which one they give me. Either or.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I just don't want to get
brand
sick.
preference. I'm sorry. I'm a Pfizer guy.
Did you get the flu vaccine this year?
I did. First time in my life I went and got a flu shot.
Also the first time I got one.
Oh.
Yeah. I went to the CVS here in Newcastle and met Brandon, the pharmacist.
Very nice guy.
Very
Stick
unique,
you in the arm.
Very unique
gentle.
guy.
Do you know if it was a clean needle?
It looked.
Or was it their sheep needle?
I should have kept it. I should have asked to have it.
Can I have this?
Yeah.
For commemorative.
Can I put this in my?
That's a great idea though for the COVID vaccine. Grandkids in 2020.
I mean, that would I should keep my COVID
you
needle, and I kept my voting instrument, my
Q-tip.
official government Q-tip from the election.
Yes.
So I feel like I should throw the COVID needle in there too.
Your grandkids are so lucky.
They're gonna have so many questions.
What the hell, Grandpa?
All right, Hannah Diane, you think you're here to talk about breastfeeding in a little while, which you probably are. But I really want to ask you about your relationship with your FedEx and UPS guy. Because if I remember correctly, Steven says you get a lot of Amazon packages.
I do. His name is Casey. So
he prefers Sprite over Sierra Mist.
Do you have
with
a little
a
drink
Y,
station?
not an EY. I don't. Well, you can see their names on the packages. If you look at the Amazon package that you get,
Yes.
okay, boys.
So you don't know if it's Cassie. If
I guess
there's no
I don't.
okay.
It's
So-
not
We're
like
going off the package.
It's not like the general store.
If it comes from Amazon or wherever or UPS, if you look at your package, there's a sticker on the back and it'll have the name of your UPS driver that delivered it, in case you're ever wondering what your UPS driver's name is. So I don't have a drink station. I did offer the guy who dropped off the packages today
Some cold lemonade.
a bottle of water. He said he was good, but I had to save him from my dogs because they were outside and it wasn't our normal UPS driver, Casey.
Or Cassie.
Or Cassie, either one.
My dad, who I think shares a UPS driver with you, says Casey was shot at on 74.
Yeah, so I think Dad,
What do you people do in Rush and Shelby County?
there was a shooting in
It's hard
Arlington.
enough getting packaged to the little.
There was a
You're
shooting
at
in
the UPS guy?
Arlington the other day. On Thanksgiving, some kid shot up a car and then they caught him on the way to Connorsville. Check the Rush County Sheriff's Department's page.
Wild down there.
I just love that that's where we get our news. Like literally everywhere, right? Yeah, I see all the time on the local scanners page. Hey, what's going on at 26th and Broad? All the time. So, I mean, it's good for Facebook.
So have your packages been coming on time, Hannah? Because this is the thing this week. We've reached the tipping point. We got COVID solved, but Christmas is in danger because packages are not getting here on time.
I canceled one that hadn't shipped yet, and I ordered the same thing, just a different brand, and it's supposed to be here on Monday. So I ordered in enough time, I think, that I was fine. I haven't had any issues recently, but I also haven't seen Casey in like a week because it's been other people delivering.
Because somebody shot at
What's
him.
wrong with him? Yeah.
I don't know. We have 2 German Shepherds, and they came running around the house and I was inside. And normally Casey gets out and pets them and he's fine. And, he loves the dogs and he's not afraid of them. And this guy, second dogs walked around or ran around the house. He slammed his door shut. You can see him like looking out the window.
My gosh.
So I had to drag him back in because they don't listen.
So 2 things stick out in this conversation. Number one, your kids aren't old enough to where you actually have time to look at the packages and see what the outside look like, because I'm rushing them in under my shirt, throwing them in the basement and just waiting. Number 2, I think that you probably should order something and have it delivered to your address in the name of Casey, are you okay? Just to make sure.
And then it'll show up FedEx.
Yeah.
And you'll know because your door will be busted.
So he's been our UPS driver for years. I think since I was in high school, college, maybe.
So you didn't move far.
I didn't move far. I made it 2 miles from home, and he delivers to all of Morristown as well, but it's where we lived
I think
previously.
it's Morristown and Posey Township.
Yeah,
in Rush
Morristown
County.
and Posey Township. But we started the pandemic when I was 34 weeks pregnant. So all of my baby shopping and all of my shower gifts were just mailed to the house. And then I wasn't leaving the house because we were in the whole beginning quarantine lockdown thing. So the only social interaction I had for like 2 months was Casey.
Was talking to Casey.
Yeah. We talked about dogs, a little bit of everything, got mutual friends.
Where does Casey get his packages every day? Does he start in Shelbyville and Indianapolis? Where does he come out of?
I think Indy, because that's where he said somebody was swerving on, I don't know if it's 74 or 70 or wherever it was. Josie says Hannah's Christmas present might not make it time.
Uh-oh.
Does that mean you're my secret Santa?
Ooh, maybe. There's a lot of family secrets coming out right now.
So he's driving his UPS truck, and somebody was on their phone and swerved into him and almost hit him. So he laid on his horn, and they whipped out a gun and just started shooting at him on the interstate. So watch out who you honk at in Indianapolis.
So did he get his shotgun out like Jed Clampett and scare the hell out of him too?
I have no idea.
I feel like, Zach, do you feel like you ought to be able to return fire? Once you get into a roadside shootout, do you feel like it's safe to return fire?
Return fire.
Dad says
run
86th
down,
Street
whatever
in
it takes.
Indy.
I'd hit him with the truck.
Self-defense.
Yeah, I was like,
Turn them.
at that point, what are you going to do?
Oh my gosh! All right, Zach, how's the package delivery going in the Burcham household?
I think most of our stuff came in. Luckily, we started pretty early. I did, unfortunately, order 2 things that literally came across the Pacific on a boat. One of them is stalled, and it's been in Los Angeles since December 9th. The other one has been frustratingly in the Muncie Distribution Center of the United States Postal Service for like 3 days.
Do you want to go up there and just say, "Hey, can I start looking through some boxes?"
Yeah. But then,
is it a recognizable box? Is it like, is it going to be red where you could find it?
No, it's just another
mundane whatever.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what it would look like. And I just looked because I ordered some stuff like last minute, and it's coming from like Alabama, Kentucky, and Illinois. I'm like, oh, we'll see how this goes. One of the things is UPS. My UPS guy seems to be a good guy. He jams out to music. He has like a Bluetooth speaker.
Yep.
And I'm working from home.
You guys might share a UPS guy as well.
I'm sure we do.
Upstairs, windows closed, can hear what he's listening to clearly over my headphones.
It's awesome. It's usually like old classic rock.
Yeah.
I think, too,
yeah. And like during the summer when the windows were open, I'm like, what is going on out there? And I look, I'm like, oh, the delivery guy's having a good time. So I was like, good for him.
See, I know the drivers, and package delivery time's right around nap time, and we all jump about 10 feet when it's UPS because it's like real loud. But
it sounds like somebody needs a rent payment.
What I don't know apparently via text message is what's in the packages, because apparently I'm the quintessential dad on Christmas morning, where mom's like watching you open the gifts and dad's just as surprised as you are at what you get. Apparently that's me, according to a text message that I just received.
Yeah, I know my delivery guys don't know who I am, but I think they know my kids because my kids have been home and they will like burst out the door times Jackson's like in a diaper, just running around, just like, and I hear them, they say thank you and everything, but this guy's probably like, I've never seen their parents. I've just seen these 2 kids.
these 2 hellions just run this house.
My kids have like long hair, so they're kind of like hippies,
just in diapers.
You should get a fraternity flag and hang on your front porch. Just cover it up a little bit.
Alpha baby Pata.
Yes. Yeah.
There was another one of those memes, like I'm assuming your wife texted you. There was one I saw today, and it says people are like, what did you get your husband for Christmas? And me, the ability not to have to worry about anything other than showing up on Christmas morning.
Now, see, I saw one that I was offended by. It was, I think, like a GIF, and it was obviously the mom's hand feeling all of the stockings on Christmas Day. Have you guys seen that one?
No.
It's like the kids and their
We're in different Facebook groups, buddy.
Yeah, this is not the Boozy Bitch 500 page. But feeling all of the stockings and then gets to the mom one and it's flat. It's never happened. Never happened at our house. Santa delivers, baby.
I'm like 37 years old, and as far as I'm concerned, my mom and dad are in charge of stockings with Santa Claus. Mm-hmm. Like, the stockings live at my parents' house.
Yeah, they're subcontracted.
Yeah.
We didn't get our childhood stockings. We get to see them for 2 hours on Christmas Day, and then they go back to mom and dad's house.
Then they're gone again.
Well, that's how we do it. So in I guess it would be my great grandparents' family. My mom's side of the family is super close, generations upon generations, and every time there's a baby born, the great aunts sew a stocking, and it's literally like 2 feet tall. And once we graduate at the age of 13 into the adult gift exchange, where you get tools that you don't know how to use and won't ever use, and then your dad's like, here, have this popcorn instead. You get to take the big stocking home. That's what we have, subcontracted from the North Pole at mom and dad's.
So Hannah and I, our grandmother, my dad's mom, she would make stockings, and everybody in the family, our second cousins, third cousins, they still have their stockings. As soon as a kid was born in the family, they would get the standard issue knitted stocking.
Standard issue.
It's
with Rudolph
Yeah.
and the name printed across the top.
It's funny because Jeremiah is 11 years older than I am, and his stocking is about 6 inches longer than mine because of 11 years more
got a lot
use.
more love. Yeah.
You don't look 11 years, Jeremiah.
Danny looks much older than both of us.
Now this is where he'll comment and
And
say,
this is
well, at
where
least
he'll-
I have gray hair
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
not bald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll beat on you. That's just the way it goes. It's okay.
I'm used to it.
So,
See.
but I bought all of the knitting patterns, and I've been trying to guilt anybody in the family.
Oh, I
to
thought you were going
continue.
to say I've been watching YouTube
To-
videos.
Oh,
I was going to be super impressed, and then you just totally flipped it.
I'm not that desperate yet, but if I can't get somebody, maybe Tatum will take it up. I don't know. If I can't get somebody in the family to start doing these, then I'm going to have to learn how to do it myself.
Mom hired it out on Etsy.
I know mom's been subbing it out to Etsy
Since
to have it done.
Grandma passed away, she
She won't do it herself.
No,
I
she-
went out and bought the book, so we have them.
Yep.
And then nobody will pick them up. Sarah bought the yarn. I said, hey, I want you to try this. And instead she's been crocheting stuff by hand or whatever, but she won't do the knitting. Apparently it's like chopsticks. It's impossible. It's a lost art and we can't figure out how to do it.
She could probably run a city. You know, like a while back, there was a project and we found out that the contractor subcontracted it out, who then subcontracted it out, who subcontracted it out to another contractor. That's basically what she's doing. North Pole hired her. She's hiring somebody. I mean,
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Work smarter, not harder.
It's just a bunch of RFQs. It's just like government.
You won't have them this Christmas.
There's a pandemic. It can't possibly happen.
she ordered any this year. She should have ordered them months ago, or she's not going to have them by Christmas.
Now, so the big story is, though, that Sarah has a cousin, a guy named Luke, who lives in the greater Atlanta area, who's a FedEx driver, and he's greatest job of his life. He's super excited. And then he found out that his last day off between Christmas and Thanksgiving was the day after Thanksgiving. After that, he is expected to work 7 days a week nonstop. And his Snapchat has just become more and more depressing and irate and irritated. Every day it's like, oh my, I have to do 200 packages today. I have to do 250 packages
Oh my
today.
gosh.
And then the other day it was his FedEx truck was completely full, and then it was surrounded by packages that they expected him to come back and get.
Oh my gosh.
My cousin shared a picture that somebody shared from a post office, and it was a room like the size of Boss Hog Studios, including the Libertarian side, and it was 4 foot deep boxes just thrown into a room that would look like it was probably like 75 by 75. And they're like, we're doing our best, but this is what we're dealing with. And that's why every time there's a meme going around that says, stop tracking your packages. It's in Jesus's hands now. and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, cause I keep checking. And I'm like, every day I figure, well, it's just a little bit deeper in the pile. That's whatever the package is sitting somewhere. It's just getting a little deeper every day.
I've been asked to officiate a very, very exciting wedding. So I became an ordained minister this week, and I ordered my ordained minister kit, and it shipped USPS, and it's supposed to arrive in 3 days from Seattle, Washington. And I said, there is no way. There is no way.
So am
I
I not official because I didn't order the kit? Like, I think I
What's
even
in the
just
kit?
printed off like the certificate that says copy in the background. It's like, I did it. Here it is. I mean,
I got the kit. It's supposed to have special parking. I have minister parking.
oof. Is this from the Universal Life Church?
Yes,
I need to-
absolutely.
I should have worked on my Christmas list better.
Yeah.
How much does it cost to get ordained as a minister?
Well, it's free,
Really?
but your performance kit, it's like being a magician.
Do you want to prove that you're ordained? Buy this certificate
Do you want
package for
special
$40.
minister parking? Do you want an ID card that lets you be clergy?
You went
Is that
full
like
deluxe,
your-
didn't
anywhere you want to?
Is that like the notary stamp you used to have?
I was an official notary. I was the youngest notary in the state of Indiana at 18. At 28, I gave it up and I moved on. I thought I was going to get elected to higher office, but it never did happen. So, I feel like
Is that like, is it that senators aren't ever elected
Yeah,
for
you
the
can't
president? I mean, it's kind
you
of like
can't
that,
have
right?
two offices at one time.
Yeah.
You couldn't be a notary because
Right.
you're an elected official.
Interesting.
The law. You would have to, if they asked you at work to become a notary, you
Sorry,
would have
guys.
to abandon your city council
Can't do
position.
it.
because
Which
you
is
need
the
to be a
obvious
notary.
route. Which is the obvious route that I would take.
Work said I need to do this. I'm out.
Call Mark Koger now.
Moving on to the next one. So, the reason I want all of these credentials is because this wedding that I'm supposed to officiate is very much an underground potentially not entirely approved venue location.
So you've been given the details finally?
I've been given some details.
How excited were you? Because when they told me what they were planning, because I know this person quite well, I was like, this is the most Jeremiah Morrell wedding ever. He's going to be so excited.
I picture us rolling in some sort of a dark, unmarked van, getting out, completing the mission, and getting the hell out as quickly as possible.
The hard part's going to be keeping the boomers that are invited moving. Some of them like to take pictures, like hold the camera out 4 feet from their face, tell everybody to pose, snap one picture.
Mason Rottinghouse has been assigned the job of official iPhone photographer for the entire event.
Oh, has he really?
He's self-invited.
How many TikTok videos on like iPhone photo hacks do you think he's watched?
I don't know. He's got a lot of work to do. It's going to be very important, very epic.
The best will be if in every picture in the lower corner is the top of Mason's head. It's like one eye in every picture. Like that, instead of a watermark, it's just like, well, you know, Mason took it. Everyone's a selfie.
That's his signature.
A selfie over his shoulder.
Yeah. Now, I would encourage you to reach the full investment of the Universal Life Church Deluxe Package number C. And I did say number C instead of letter C.
Monastery.org. That's where you find the
oh, nice,
or it's something along those lines.
I would encourage you to use your services for the county too. I mean, that's an idea to volunteer in that regard. So I think you should consider that. Yep. See, and that actually mine says that copy of original only in the background.
So you don't have
just
any
to prove that I did it. No, because I'm a cheapskate, Jeremiah. I've got kids that are growing out of clothes.
How many
eating out of my cupboards?
How many of these have you just done last rites at the hospital, or have you done a wedding? What have you?
I have officiated a wedding, and I actually officiated it. Gosh, now I can't even remember. I don't know if it was this summer maybe, because people did have masks. It was like when it lightened up a little bit.
Yeah.
It was outdoors, and I knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I'll have an ID card, a badge, an official certificate of ministry.
What do you need those for your?
I mean, I assume
job?
that there's going to be some sort of a government barrier to entry. I expect resistance.
But here's the thing: Indiana does not require you to like be appointed or whatever. Which is how many gay weddings are there that Indiana actually might care about the government, and they don't care.
Are you calling
shocked?
Are you calling this a gay wedding?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying,
salacious.
I'm just saying, based on what I know about my beloved state of Indiana, that shocked me. That I did not have to like file anything with the government.
Well, I mean, there's paperwork that after the deed is done, you still have to file with the county.
Not you.
Well, I mean, when I got married, the judge at my wedding took care of the paperwork for me. It was all a part of the service.
Exactly.
So as the officiant,
I mean, I didn't buy the classic wedding package for $40. I'm not going to file their paperwork
plus shipping, and you have to make a donation. You have to make a donation to the
Universal Life Church.
You've not made a donation?
I've not. My donation is my goodwill and spreading of the meaning of the Universal Life Church.
Unfortunately, they didn't ask me for any information at all. It's literally just
didn't have to
name, email address. Congratulations, you've been approved.
What's your character like? No, never mind. We don't need to ask him that. How many people have you killed? Oh, nope, never mind. It says it doesn't matter.
You're official. All right, so we're talking about packages delivery, and that we got off on this topic. There are.
How did that happen? I can't even remember now.
This is 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago
3 days
was
shipping
Obelisk.
from Seattle
Yeah,
for his
Obelisk
ordained
talk.
minister
Oh, there you
packets
go.
that he had to have.
Yeah. Man, what a great alleyway.
It happens. It happens quickly. If you don't have your stuff ordered already, there are some major retailers, LL Bean and some others, that have been told 10,000 packages a day. You basically had to pre-buy your shipping, and if you weren't in that list, you're screwed. Amazon went outside of the box, and they wound up creating their own distribution channel to get around some of this.
Somebody showed up in a Hertz rented van
It was
earlier
Amazon.
today, right after. I don't know who it was from.
Right? Doesn't FedEx do that?
Or
does Amazon do that too?
I only want
think
my
everybody.
stuff, my rentals from Penske.
The dogs tried to get him too, and I didn't get there in time. So at the end of my sidewalk, there was a package.
My favorite, I had this actual thought today. If I were to change careers, I would want to deliver packages during Christmas time, but only in the jump seat.
You want to be the
that
runner?
that
you want to be
secondary
the one
seat.
trusted to do nothing other than
You're in
get
that
it to the door.
You're in that awesome fold-out chair that's got to be over the steps, right? So your feet are hanging like you're at a Kings Island ride.
Maybe this is going to be
And
our
then-
retirement job, is you and I are
That's
just going
what
to
I'm talking
deliver
about.
packages at Christmas time. When we don't need the big money and we're collecting the government checks, we got
Yep.
their insurance. Christmas time, we're just going to
Listen,
raise hell and praise Dale delivering packages.
based on what the 80-year-old ladies told me when I was the Trojan Warrior, my senior year of high school, I have the legs to be a UPS driver.
Well, and
in the brown shorts.
I'm going to tell you, I'm pretty sure I could be the driver and you could be the runner.
Gosh.
There's no way I'd want to jump and run packages all day. I would much rather drive the vehicle around. Not when it's cold.
If you're moving, what do you care?
Yeah, you wouldn't be cold.
No.
I'd run
Blast some
so many people off the road.
AC/DC on a
I've run
Bluetooth
so many
speaker.
people off the road in the snow. I'm bigger than you. Get out of the way.
Especially this year would be a great year because people are at the home.
And they're like,
And they're super thankful that you're there.
they're
Like,
just begging for your interaction.
I brought your toilet paper.
yeah. And the people are kind of on the ball because of the porch pirate situation. So people are like jumping out there to get the packages.
I love that. That's why they're on the ball. It's not the fact that they're at home bored out of their minds. They're just
Well, that
watching
too.
out the window.
Somebody's going to steal your Chewy box and get your dog food.
Mom said that she had packages thrown at her mailbox.
Yeah.
Not even up to the door. They were left at her mailbox
Well, she
across
has
the road.
she has about a 70-pound poodle.
But he runs when the UPS driver pulls in, and he hides around the back of the house. Trust me, I hear about that too. After he stops at Mom and Dad's, he tells me about it.
He tells me what kind of a chicken shit
And
dog
my-
our parents have.
In my 5-minute interaction when I was locked down from anybody.
There's a great video that compares the stereotypes of how the different delivery services handle your package.
And it's spot on.
It's spot on. It's like the Amazon guy goes into your house and he cleans up. He you can see him straightening stuff up. And I'm trying to think the
UPS guy throws your box and pounds on the
That
door.
was FedEx.
That's
yeah.
FedEx.
Oh yeah. Okay.
FedEx. I thought FedEx was
he curb stomps your package and he knocks over your potted plant.
and rips your screen door off its hinges.
Yeah. My brother lives in Indy and he has a video of the FedEx guy lofting a package over the rail onto their front porch from 10 feet back.
I have a video of the FedEx guy seeing the dogs throwing the package and running back to the truck.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty funny.
You've got one of those fancy Ring cameras.
Yeah, it's the last model though, so it kind of sucks.
Wow. You're complaining about that first world problems, everybody.
But our internet is
your
also crap
doorbell
too.
camera is crappy.
Our internet is crappy, and our doorbell is not the most recent quality. So
You've been leading the charge for government assistance with your internet, I heard.
yeah, our internet is shit. Absolute shit. You can look at the map, and there's red, yellow, green on the map of Rush County, and ours is dead red.
We can stream TV at your place because you have a line of sight to a tower 15 miles away, but when the corn's tall, you have problems.
Yeah, so there's a receiver mounted to a tree in our yard that you can see another tower that has a radio on it, and they have a signal, and then the line's plumbed into our house, and we have Wi-Fi. But if the corn's too tall and it messes with the line of sight, then we get really shitty internet.
So it's in the county, right?
Yeah.
Rush County.
You should contact your state senator about that.
I will get right on that.
So in the
Senator Lysing.
In the spring, you get really excited if they plant soybeans.
Well,
Yes.
Is that crop rotation,
it's 8
right?
miles. It's 8 miles of fields between where her tower is and her house.
I
yeah,
hope
but
I just really impressed Cade with mentioning that was crop rotation. That's 4th grade
the
standard.
nitrogen cycle.
4th grade standard, guys.
yeah, so I have a background in ag, so yeah, it's soybeans every other year with that crop rotation. Sometimes they mix it up with wheat.
Sarah will sell
Plant some
you a
winter
tile
wheat.
plow. Or Hannah will sell you a tile plow.
I will sell you a tile plow for field drainage.
In other news, I finally got to the bottom of my Blintons. So victory to me.
See,
If there was,
see,
if this
that's how
wasn't-
I know that you're not a real bourbon drinker, Jeremiah. Finally,
I didn't savor it.
Finally,
Finally,
Gosh.
I suffered through it and got to the end.
that was that was like an excited.
This was the bourbon of my lifetime. Thank God it's over.
I enjoyed it.
Dad's bragging that he has fiber optic, his 1.8 miles from our house.
Yeah, my parents won the lottery when it comes to internet. There's a CAFO that needed fiber internet, and they live on the path. So it literally, my parents are
just
the
out
only
of convenience.
My parents are the only house, and okay, there's 2 ways to look at this. One, my parents are the only house on their road that exists, but it happened to be the one that 9 Star had to go by to get to
Nice.
this building. Or you could look at it in a corrupt way and say, well, Joyce Morrell's on the fiber board for Rush County, and they just happen to choose to drive by her house for the fiber.
2 cars cannot pass each other on their road. One of them has to pull off the side of the road, and they have fiber optic. And I live on Highway 52, and I have a receiver on a tree.
I mean, how long is the spool of Cat 5 cable, and can we pipe it to your house from there?
You actually could do a direct line of sight deal. Just like that she uses to buy from the other people. She could steal her parents' internet and make it work.
I don't know. You're going to have to do that for me, but I sell it. The tile plow for field drainage.
It's already done. You're going to do it.
That trenches stuff in. So I could trench my own line in. I just need to borrow a tractor.
Well, I mean, you've got access to tractors, and you could lay your own fiber optic line and have a private utility, I suppose. Yeah. You could do the job government didn't do.
Make sure I'll call 811.
That's true.
Call 811 and dig a 1.5 mile long trench. That'd be impressive. And then you can resell the internet. Do what you want. Have some fun. All right, Hannah.
It would all be down. Just run it down Pruitt's and then down 200 to Mom and Dad's.
I have the wrong show notes in front of me now at this point. I've scratched out the wrong thing. I have last week's notes in front of me. Here we go.
It's too bad there's not a stream nearby. You could just run the cable into the stream and cut it, and then have another cable cut at your end, and the stream would just totally take the fiber optics.
There we go.
There is a stream, but it runs the wrong way.
It's science, guys.
The
little blue river.
The little blue river is on the path.
Yep.
In between.
All of the wastewater from communities up north.
That's why your internet.
That's why I have the immunity I have today. Playing in that creek. That's why I haven't gotten COVID yet.
Up here in we're the purest part of the state of Indiana, the headwaters of the Flat Rock and the Big Blue River here in Henry County. So everybody downhill gets our stuff. All right. So the main thing we advertise, the reason Hannah Diane is here, is I wanted to talk about families during COVID. How are we getting through this? How every time you turn around, there's another COVID scare. I saw Aaron over the weekend, and he said, "Oh, we might have a problem again." Every time I turn around, it's this might happen. And now at this point, I'm completely over it. I'm exhausted by it. I don't know how families like Zach are dealing, and how in the world you can possibly keep up. Aaron, you've got small kids. You plan on, okay, mom goes to work, dad goes to work, kids are going to school. You know what to expect. And then you get in the middle of a pandemic, and I don't know how you guys go week to week and figure out what to do. Like, you wake up in the morning and say, we're both supposed to go to work, theoretically, and then you're running out of vacation days, and the kids are supposed to go to school, but they're not, or you got to teach them at home. How do you figure this out? This has got to be exhausting. Open floor.
Tatum's still pretty fresh, so she has no idea what's going on.
Pretty fresh.
She was born into a pandemic, so she has no idea one way or another. Ask me again in about 5-6 years when she's in school if this is still going on for the next pandemic.
Seriously.
On how I handle that, but she's good so far.
You know, we're obviously lucky, blessed, whatever your choice is, because we are able to. Brittany's able to stay home with the kids. And we've been able to do that throughout our lives, and we've just kind of adjusted our lifestyle, as we've needed to make sure that happens, and that is super helpful. Last year she was working as a teacher's aide at school, and the 2 kids were going to school, and one was going to daycare. And my mom, who's now a retired teacher, this year said, if I need to watch her, I just don't want her going back to daycare in the middle of all this. Obviously, Brittany's had some health issues. It's kept her from going back to work. But and then I'm able to work at home in my industry. But, man, I tell you what, this is a hectic time of year in our industry. I was just telling Zach earlier that, I'm not out of my desk between 8 and 12, where earlier I was like, lingering at the coffee pot to hang out with the kids a little bit.
Do anything
more.
You wanted to, and now you're
pretty much. And it's just so hectic and stressful and chaotic. And man, my wife, she just does it all. Kids need lunch, bam, here it is. Oh, somebody needs help with their virtual school homework, bam, here you go. The hardest part for us is, Brittany and I had tested positive earlier, like in October, and at first we thought it was just me, so I was isolated, and she was having to do everything upstairs. And then we found out we both had it. And so we had to, be careful around the kids because the girls, get sick real easily. It's just, you don't have a choice though. I mean, you as a parent do what you have to do, go to bed exhausted and wake up the next morning and do it all again. But the stay-at-home moms, man, they're the real heroes.
My husband's a half stay-at-home dad right now, and
Perfect.
I'm the one working. We both work full time, but he's a firefighter, so he has 24 on, 48 off. So the days he's not on shift, he has Tatum, and then split between a sitter and his mom. So she kind of goes a little bit of everywhere.
Yeah. See, I should have said stay-at-home parent. That's one of my
that was sexist.
One of my micro
really
biases, and I apologize.
You really should apologize. Yeah, the liberals are going to tear you up.
Look at me. I apologize.
You don't look sorry.
I've learned, and I'm moving on. The heartfelt apology and me moving on.
I think Steven's still offended.
Our official position is that we're sorry. If that's not good enough for you, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm going to look in the camera. Steven. Sorry, Steven. I didn't mean it. I'll do better next time.
I'll make him watch this because he has no idea what's going on.
So
you mean he hasn't been invited to the studio?
He has not. I guarantee he probably hasn't.
It took 3 years for Steven to have his first conversation with me.
That's actually Zach, that's actually shorter than if I were married to Jeremiah's. That's a short amount of time for anybody that would be married to Jeremiah's sister. I think. It's not bad.
It was a very long time. I used to tell people I look forward to my first conversation with Steven. It's going to be great.
He probably knows it's going to end up on social media. That's why, or it's going to be a story on your podcast. Or
he's been around far before the podcast.
Yeah.
Far before.
Yeah.
2012.
So you're running around all these states trying to sell plow equipment.
Yep.
You can drop the name of the company if you need to.
Soil Max. For all your drainage needs.
There's some people in this county there's some people in this county that want to have you talk to the county.
You sell the gold digger.
It is called the Gold Digger Tile Plow.
Oh my gosh, that is
not
awesome.
a joke. My business card says Hannah Davis
Gold Digger
underneath of it.
Yes. And every time, and she has a Bluetooth speaker actually on sales calls. And do you know what she listens to on the way?
Akon.
He gave me money.
It's favorited on my series. Or my XM.
So you're traveling the world. You were just in North Carolina last week.
I was just in North Carolina.
Trying to sell these plows.
I cover Indiana to the East Coast.
And you're supposed to be breastfeeding because that's what's better for the baby. How do you handle this? Do you take the kid with you? Does she road trip?
That would not end well. That
would make a great sitcom.
Does that count as distracted driving if you're trying to breastfeed down the road?
So
how does
I
this
did
go?
that once.
Oh my God, you really did?
Not while I was driving.
While you're driving?
When we went out west and it was on the way home.
You went to Utah to visit our Mormon homeland.
We went to Colorado and Wyoming to visit our Mormon homeland.
Yeah.
And it was on the way back and it was like, 4:65 to home. So half an hour. And she was like she is now, just screaming.
Yeah, Sarah deserves a medal right now because she's in the other room.
This one's for you, Sarah.
She was just screaming. She's like 8 weeks old. She won't take a bottle from me. So I just try and lean over the seat as best as I can. And she ate. She calmed down. She was good.
That's impressive.
My wife did. My wife
very uncomfortable.
That's a road win.
It's very hard. Steven has a picture of it somewhere.
The Burchams have done that maneuver as well. My wife had to do that because if you are traveling with a nursing child, you're signed up to stop every 2 hours unless you get creative somehow.
Exactly.
And if you have a
that's
baby,
like a midair refueling on keeping the president's plane in the air.
So in my travels, I have to pump every 3 to 4 hours. There's different types of breast pumps to a wall, and you've got these cords hanging out, and you're basically boobs out, nipples out, got the flanges on, and you got a little pump, and you're tubed up there. And I have one of those. Use that in the mornings. And I grew up in a house where we had dairy goats, so we judged production based upon how many quarts you could give. What's a good day? So I'm a good dairy cow.
Yeah.
I can
The look on Aaron's face right now is all I was dreaming of.
Yep.
around like 40 ounces a day is a good day. I'm a little bit of an overproducer.
Like on a high legume, a lot of beans and alfalfa diet.
That is a lot of Hardee's.
Yeah.
And I do nothing special. I'm blessed with good production, a good supply. Other moms are not. And I've been able to help with that a little bit. Since I am a little bit of an overproducer, I'm able to donate milk to moms who need it.
Is that legal?
Apparently. I haven't checked. So
what's the tax on that? That's what we really want to know here.
No matter how you feed
how do you like, do you leave it outside by the mailbox and be like, hey, if anybody needs this, here it is. Is this going to
listen? Casey is not in that industry. Okay,
in another one of these Facebook groups. How do you?
You can ship your milk home on dry ice. I've looked into that for when I'm at farm shows.
Nice,
but I had a
you don't just put it in a cooler next to your snacks.
No, I have, yes, but I've got a great employer.
Here you go.
Who's very
nope, sorry. That was a Capri Sun.
I got my Yeti out at a field day to move it from the middle seat to the bed of my truck, and one of the farmers there was like, "Is that Busch Light?" I was like, "No, it's breast milk." Like, oh, I don't want that. It's probably not. But so no matter how you choose to feed your baby, whether that's formula or you breastfeed or you pump and you feed your baby, it doesn't matter. Breast milk has antibodies in it, and that's the benefit that I wanted to give Tatum and other moms who believe in that. But whether you can or you can't, as long as your baby's fed, that's what matters.
That's the goal you're accomplishing.
There is a huge mom shaming stigma to you breastfeed your baby. Oh, you should just give it formula so other people can feed it. Or
what?
Oh yeah, there's join one of the what do you call it?
Yeah, well, I said it. I said the B word prematurely earlier, so I'm gonna. And was informed that we were giving out too many North Pole state secrets, and so they stopped watching.
The boozy bitch breast milk feeding moms Facebook pages, they get very judgy. So, I can get mom shamed for breastfeeding in public. Moms who feed formula will get mom shamed for not breastfeeding.
What you're saying is you can't do anything right.
No, you can't do anything white.
Right, not white.
You can't do anything white.
Any color can do this, perform this activity.
So I'm able to help other moms and donate some of my milk. There's also moms out there selling their milk. And I have a friend who had a baby.
Is that like on Facebook Marketplace?
Do they claim that on their income taxes?
I don't know. It's all cash, so probably not.
Breast milk.
I'm surprised Dakota hasn't gotten in on that because weightlifters is a common thing.
Yeah, so there's
really what?
Yeah,
bodybuilders.
People are like bodybuilders.
They'll pay like $10 an ounce. There's
it's $400 a day, Hannah. So, I'm fourth grade math teacher. I mean,
it's like after Christmas, Dakota comes in all pumped up, and you're like, "What have you been doing?"
Jackson was done with it.
I made Audrey keep going.
So there are some. If you're a patron, you get the show notes, and they're posted in the Facebook group for you. There's the Dude Dad videos, which is a guy I think he's in Colorado now.
I've watched him.
Little actor. And I posted
brought your prop.
His wife has been breastfeeding, and I think they just had their third kid, and he had a confession video, and then he accidentally unplugged a refrigerator that had his wife's breast milk in it.
Oh.
And there were 152 bags of breast milk.
Over 700 ounces.
Yeah.
How many, what do you...
I watched that and it hurt my soul.
Is that a lot? How long does that take you?
I think I actually have about 700 ounces in the deep freezer, thanks to
that's
my LVs. This is my breast pump.
Okay.
One of them. So
all
you
right.
just stick them in your shirt, and that's how I can drive.
That's impressive.
I mean, those, honestly, that looks like the kind of thing you would put in your shirt when you were 11 to fill out.
That's why it's called LV. That's why it's called LV. It's 11. Dual.
Yeah.
So... anyways, I've got 700 ounces in the deep freezer, and I would be pissed if that got unplugged. Also, because it's full of beef as well.
Steven, go check the freezer right now.
I'd be checking every day. Is it still okay?
Feeling each, naming the packages.
So they're like...
So when she's done, how long does she eat? Does she eat till she's like a year, 4 years? How long does she stay on this?
I'm going to go about a year.
Okay.
Is the goal. Other moms
that's how long she needs it. But if you can sell it for $10 an ounce, how long can you go?
Supply and demand. You can go as long as you want. So
you could go forever.
There's a documentary on Netflix. It's called, what was it? Unwell. And there's a breastfeeding episode on there and breast milk. And it's about the bodybuilders paying like $10 an ounce for it. And there's also like in Mongolia, if you don't get breastfed till age 11, you're not going to be a super sumo wrestler.
11?
Oh my
11.
gosh. Well, it reminds me, is it Step Brothers where they're sitting there and the kid runs up to his mom, "Mommy, I'm thirsty," and breastfeeds, and he says, "How old's your kid?" "It's 48 months." That's 4.
My goal is a year. And
but I mean, will you continue to bank it in case
I
somebody else
probably
needs
won't.
it? You're gonna.
I want
You
my
were
boobs.
bragging about donating it to these people, and now you're
I want my
gonna stop.
boobs back.
Okay.
I would like so.
And you had expressed
she's-
some extreme concern about teething. So does she now just have to take the bottle because it's violent?
No, she hasn't bit me yet, but it's not going to be great when she does. But she won't take a bottle from me. She doesn't want the soggy fries. She wants the fresh fries.
So she knows it's you and
Yeah.
won't take the bottle. But if it's Steven and she's desperate, she'll take the bottle.
The first week that I went back to work, she drank like an ounce a day. She refused to take a bottle. She also refused a pacifier. It was terrible, but she finally
Well,
decided.
you weren't there, not your problem.
Still, I felt it. But when she sleeps through the night, why I want to be done. I think in the mornings, the most I've pumped is like 17 ounces at one time.
Oh my God.
Was a lot. And if it's in the morning and she hasn't ate yet, I'm soaked. Like you leak.
Right.
So I want my boobs
Well,
back.
once again, I used to have dairy goats, so we would tape them up before a big show.
Yeah.
You'd tape things so
No,
that nothing
you would
leaked
not.
out. Yeah.
Are you kidding?
I'm not
That's
kidding.
Awesome. That is awesome.
I mean, competitive dairy goat showing is
It
a
was-
real.
yeah.
It's a real deal.
Hey, what kind of tape you got?
That's the masking. The blue. You got to get the blue.
I'm not sure how the goats treat it, but you'll find that women don't find they call it engorgement as nearly as
It's painful.
enjoyable.
I totally thought you were going to say they don't like it when you tape their nipples.
never even would have tried that. No.
It's painful. It's
There's-
so painful.
So when that happens, you should just pump, right?
Pump, feed the baby, either
Right.
one.
Pick one.
It's a crazy balance that women have to do because you have to pump for that, but also if you don't keep pumping, then your supply stops.
Yeah, so it's all supply and demand. So if she eats every 3 hours, I have to pump every 3 hours. So when she wasn't sleeping through the night and I had to go on an overnight for work, I had to set an alarm for 3 a.m., get up in the middle of the night and
Right.
pump so my supply doesn't go down.
So now, and if you're staying in a hotel, you've got to find a hotel that has a refrigerator. I guess
I make
It's a
sure I
whole-
have-
a whole thing of concerns now at this point.
Yep,
For
make
you.
sure I have a refrigerator. I have to bring a cooler packed full of ice. I have like 2 pumping bags. I was gone for...
Of course, you have 700 ounces, so you could discard it if you want.
I could, but I don't want
But
to.
you're addicted to it. You're like a hoarder now.
Not
You
so
can't-
much.
It'd be wasteful.
Not so much. But if I was a hoarder, my freezer would be full. I have to cycle it out.
Oh, so you are getting rid of it. So do you, when you donate something, do you donate the old stuff?
Yeah,
Like the
so
back
I'll-
end of the
yeah, I'll
first
go-
in, first out. So
Yeah.
they get your seconds.
She's eating the most fresh. Like she'll eat the stuff frozen from the day before.
Right.
And then I'll cycle out the old stuff. So I think that I've been pumping since May. I think the oldest stuff I have is September, maybe October.
Okay.
Not that long ago. So I've donated probably 800 ounces to 3 different moms.
So seriously, where you just find people that need it and then you contact them?
Mutual Friends was the first one. She had an adopted baby, and she was able to make it a full year on donor milk with both of her adopted children, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then the second one was to one of Sarah's friends. She wasn't pumping, and she wasn't pumping enough, and she wanted to get away for a few hours on a Saturday. So gave her like 50 ounces or something like that just to be able to have that for when she's gone. And then there's Facebook groups, Human Milk for Human Babies, where moms will post and say, hey, I'm in this town. Could anyone donate milk? And normally the recipient will donate bags back. That's all I've ever asked for.
Is bags.
As bags. That's the only thing I care about. But there's other ones where you can be compensated.
Do you feel like you should get
Right.
like some sort of a medal at the end, like a wet nurse medal or some sort of an award?
They make it's not a wet nurse, Jeremiah.
I was
Not
waiting.
a wet nurse. I do not physically feed other babies with
Well, I
my
mean, it's-
boob. They don't latch. I give them a frozen bag of milk.
I love that she's
frozen
looking into
bag
the
of
camera
milk.
like
She's got to correct the record.
For the record.
Would that be wrong? If there's a hungry baby, you're not going to take care of things?
If there was a need, I would, but I think there's other options that are a little bit less
so
line
far
crossing.
she's not come across that situation.
Yeah, have not come across
But-
a situation.
I think for the record also, we can say if that situation came across, she would not shut anything down.
All right. I feel like at this point you probably ought to bring the kid back.
How
She's
stressed do you,
screaming.
how stressed do you
Screaming.
think Sarah is? Right
Sarah
now?
is over it at this point.
Like I decided I don't want any kids, Jeremiah. This needs to stop.
How many steps? Sarah, how many steps on your device?
Oh my goodness. All right, let's move into final thoughts because we are.
April says liquid gold, you never throw it away.
Yeah,
that's
what I
correct.
watched. Yeah. It's like a point of pride for a mom. There's like we had a deep freeze full of it. I have to go down there and like totes that were like, this is a month's worth right here. Sort through it, pull it out. And then for our kids, they stopped nursing, but then she kept giving them the breast milk for X many months, like as long as she could until you transitioned them to the cow's milk.
Yeah, I'll probably.
I really don't know how the sound is going to carry out, but Tatum is in the other room absolutely screaming.
Should probably check on that.
So we're gonna work into final thoughts. You guys may have this low level just rhythmic baby cry going on. I'm not entirely certain how this is going to shake out. This is definitely a first. Producer Zach, man, what did we learn today? You got any final thoughts? What do you say?
Oh, not too many final thoughts. Just surviving like everybody else. Went and saw the State Fair light show. That's interesting. Show up early. The line is deceptively long, so make sure your kids hit the bathroom before you go through there. Keep them off their tablets in the end of it. You don't want to deal with that car sickness.
I did the Indy 500 or the Indianapolis Motor Speedway light show maybe twice, but
it's on par with that, and it's actually a little bit. I'll say it's actually a little bit cooler in one regard, in that it's actually cooler before you even get into it. It's all the lights in the infield are all synced to music, the same song. So
that's cool.
And so the coolest part's when you're in line, actually, and you're driving along what's the back straightaway of the track to go around the horse track, not the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You're seeing all the lights are in front of you, and you're seeing them all go, and you can pick up the radio station already. I think it's like about an hour and 15-minute loop. We listened to the entire loop, and it came back around. And so that was kind of cool to see that. My kids were like, oh, just not caring, whatever. But I think they enjoyed it once I made them put their tablets up, but that was cool.
Made them look outside. We've been waiting for 3 hours, kids. It's time for you to pay attention and look at this.
But yeah.
I don't know. I don't love the lights enough that I would probably just drive through Cornerstone locally and be like, that's it, kids. It's good enough.
I missed the IMS lights just because I love to be at the track. And if I could make somebody else drive so I could like hang out of the sunroof, I probably would.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, the lights, they're really cool. I'm full on Christmas stuff. I need to go around one night and like throw my drone up in the air and get some pictures of stuff, because there's some cool light displays around town. But other than that,
yeah,
go check out L&K for your beef, or Beehive Body Company for your homemade like soaps and scrubs and stuff. And she doesn't have to ship it if you're local. She'll throw it in a bag and you can go pick it up at Mount Summit.
You can pick it up close.
You can bypass the dumpster fire that is the current shipping network around here.
Can we prefer Casey as our delivery person? Because I hear he's really good. Or Cassie, because we don't know.
Casey might be curled up in the fetal position after
it sounds like it.
Shooting. I don't know if I could go out on the route like for a couple of days if somebody like tried to cut me off and shoot at me.
Yeah, he said he changed where he drove every day. He doesn't go by there anymore.
Can you imagine you're a UPS guy, but you're operating like you're a CIA undercover informant because you're like, you have to stay away from people.
Wow. Sarah has fixed Tatum. She's been fully repaired. She's back and she's smiling. It's a miracle. Hannah Diane, final thoughts from you, and then you can go take care of business here.
Not a wet nurse.
Not a wet nurse?
Donate milk.
Okay. So if you take money for it, you're a wet nurse. Is that the...
No.
No shaming.
But the friend that I told you that does take milk for it, she got $1 an ounce for 400 ounces because she was dairy free in her diet. That's a premium.
Oh, so you gotta
There's
convert.
a premium. Yeah.
But you gotta live with no cheese. I don't know if I could do that.
No, I couldn't do it. That's what I said. Tough. I always said I wanted to breastfeed, but if I had major issues or if it was terrible and I was completely miserable, which at first it was very, very hard. We've gotten better now, but that I would quit. And also if I ever had to go dairy free, I would quit. So
how much money, like if we're talking the economics of it, if you were having to go formula versus breastfeeding, is it economically make sense to breastfeed as well?
Yeah. So it's like $60-$70 a week, maybe for formula.
And that's probably if you take the basic form. Like our kids did not like
$300 a month
being breastfed, and we had to get and they had milk protein allergy stuff going on.
Very, very picky.
Nutramigen,
like the soy based.
Oh yeah, and that's you're like doubling. what you would spend.
So if you get fancy kids, they're like $600 a month.
Fancy.
Regular kids are $300, or you can make it yourself.
They require the Blantons of breast milk.
DIY breast milk. But you've also got the expensive of pumps. I got one through insurance. That one was paid for out of pocket.
The insurance company pays for those?
Not for that. I'll tell you that. Not for that version. They
Those
won't.
are $500.
Whoa!
That was the interesting thing that came with Obamacare, was that became a requirement. Yeah. And so if you're on the front cusp of that, which we were, my wife got to pick a breast pump.
Oh, wow.
And then the insurance paid for it. Then they
found out real quick.
So they're like, this is the one we're sending you.
You guys, we're actually having to pay for these. Let's change it.
You have options, and I got the one that I wanted for my wall pump where it charges.
You got the Denali, but Steven can't get the Denali.
I got the Denali that has the battery pack.
I don't think the Denali would produce $400 worth a month of gasoline.
He might afford it if I sell it versus give it away.
Does that thing have a cooling feature?
It does not, but it pops out here, and that's the little, and then you put a cap on it, or you could bag it. Bags are also...
So they can just take shots right out of the bottom.
Yeah, and then that's your little...
Does she? I was looking to see if her eyes were lighting up. Does she know what that is?
She does not, but she knows what my boobs are.
Yep.
And the second you saw earlier, she gets next to me and her face.
She just starts biting at your face.
Like if you watch The Walking Dead or any zombie shows, and they have like their faces going towards you, that's what I feel like every day.
She just looks at you like you're food.
That's all she cares
You're
about.
a food factory.
She sees me and then she just face plants into me.
Wow.
That's all she cares
Do you think
about.
she smells you or hears your voice? What do you think the key is?
It's both.
Yeah.
It's both.
You smell like lunch.
I don't know. Do you remember what you did to Mom?
I'm just
'Cause
asking.
We were breastfed.
You spend a lot more time with the kids than I do.
So
I don't know.
I looked it up, and it is 1,800 hours for a year of breastfeeding. That's how much you spend.
See?
1,800 hours.
And that's not just feeding your kid either. I mean, that's the bonding. That's, everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
With it. We're so unlucky. I wish I could breastfeed.
Yeah, my wife was broken up when it stopped because both my kids just quit. They just were like, nope, not interested anymore.
That's my question.
It broke her heart.
That's my question is, how does it stop? Or is she going to wean herself? Am I going to have to cut her
they're
off?
48 months old, and you're going, okay.
She's getting cut off.
We're going to have to go to kindergarten soon, Tatum.
What are you doing here for your child's lunch today at school? Well, that's exactly why I'm here.
Well, you have the choice of peanut butter sandwich or...
When they're old enough to ask for it, it's time to stop.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, Aaron.
Man.
You get to follow this show.
Gosh, well, very interesting topics and very huge. And that's when you were, talking about like the shaming, like I said, our kids didn't like it, but man, the looks that we got when we were bottle feeding,
it doesn't matter as long as your kid's fed. I've been fortunate enough. This has worked for me, and I haven't had to pay for formula, but if we did, then so be it. And that's what it is. And they're happy and healthy, and she's clean most of the time. So
there you go. There you go.
Your personal hero is going to be the transportation secretary now. I heard that.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Pete Buttigieg. It's a pretty big deal. And I saw Nick Estel. I don't know if you're Facebook friends with him, but shared part of an interview with Pete. And, I think, I don't know. I obviously think way differently than a lot of people, but I think it'll be good. I just hope he doesn't stay there. I'd like to see him come back, and I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what he would do as, governor or senator if he can swing it in a red state. But that's always the question, and that's probably why he'll stay.
I don't know if Mayor Pete or Secretary Pete can win a statewide election in Indiana. Nope. I don't know if he can win a congressional race from his part of the world.
That's been my argument.
But I think he's going to be a great Secretary of Transportation. Yeah. I think he's an absolute
He understands it at the local level, which is where
policy
it matters.
wonk like Mitch Daniels was, and he's actually run a city. And in his stump speeches, Adam Wren of Politico said that he was giving stump speeches about how they changed the sewer system in South Bend.
It's crazy.
So
and
if he cared enough to do that, he's going to be great with the DOT.
And that's what it takes, I think. And I think, especially a town like Newcastle, where we've been around and we've been doing things, anywhere really, a town anywhere, you just get into, we've done it this way and this is the way that we do it. And it takes somebody different to challenge that. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But The Memorial Park lights our family really enjoyed that. Our girls are quarantined right now. So we're looking for things like that to do. We actually drove by and saw the Grinch downtown this evening, so that was pretty cool. Downtown looks absolutely beautiful, and I think that's a lot in major part to Newcastle Main Street. They've done a fantastic job. The mayor and the mayor's office with the tree and the plaza, everything just looks really great. But I don't think I have anything actually to push tonight. So thanks for having me on and giving me a reason to open this, because I didn't want to drink this by myself at home. So.
Didn't want to drink it sad and alone. Well, a shot of that is going to go into your infinity bottle.
Yes, which probably makes people cringe, but I'm not that,
the
hard
ultimate
up for a blend.
The ultimate Dicken blend. And Tatum has made her appearance on the show. She's through with the crying, and she's just looking straight into Aaron's eyes.
Yeah. We had to get the cause of the milk.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's looking.
So if for my wife, I guarantee you, she's thinking, there goes Aaron having to be liked by babies.
You've got a house full. You guys have got a young one in the house still.
Yes.
Elle is CC is a year and a half.
CC is 2.
Are we still counting months?
I had to think about it. She's 20. Well, she's older than 24 months. Ooh. Now she's 31 months. But I've actually succeeded as a father because she thinks the word butt cheek is hilarious and will scream it. And actually, we're a little bit mortified. She started saying bye-bye baby butt when I leave for work. And we were leaving TJ Maxx, last month, and the lady at the counter said, "Oh, bye," and she said, "Bye-bye, baby butt." So it's a public thing now.
I'm trying to get Tatum to turn her head because I realize she has a true Gene Katie comb over going.
Oh. So
that mohawk is massive.
It's for real.
Yeah, it is very impressive. So I thank you guys for joining us. This is awesome. Episode 187 is in the books. We will be back, I believe, on Wednesday night to do a Christmas special episode. I think it's going to be to the free ones. You might have to join the Patreon to get it. That's not been negotiated amongst the hosts yet. I know Mason's going to be here. He's going to be back. He's got that second shift job, but he's supposed to join us. Dakota says he's going to be here. Cade's off getting tattooed, but we'll see who else we have show up. We appreciate it, and we'll see you all on the next one.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Boss Hog of Liberty, which is part of the We Are Libertarians Network. I am Chris Spangle, and I am the founder of this network, and I invite you to listen to all of our shows, which you can find at wearelibertarians.com or by searching for these in your podcatcher. The flagship show is the We Are Libertarians podcast, where we apply libertarian principles to current events. The Brian Nichols Show is a conversation amongst Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, as they talk about what is happening in the news. And we have many other podcasts like The Chris Spangle Show, Upward, The Cost, Raw Audio Politics, Miranda's World, and Tad Talk, which is quite a ride. So check all of these out. Go to wearelibertarians.com and you can check out all of our great podcasts. Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at wearelibertarians.com.